So today we will be talking about kind of a marketing strategy to create demand for your product or service. It's a bit unconventional, as you will see. And I will talk why it is important, give some examples. And then at the end, those of you who have, I know that many of you have services or at least have ideas of businesses in their minds. We can use them as a case studies. We try to come up with ideas for your product and service. So this strategy is called damming demand. It sounds negative, right? But it is not. So in brief, damming demand is a demand creation technique as opposed to demand capture. So when you are marketing, what most people do is go after people who are in market or are actively seeking solutions or products or services. And now there's a lot of talk in recent days about that this is not enough. You need to go and create the demand. There are different ways of doing that. Of course, content is at the heart of it. And damming demand is just kind of a strategy that is beyond the content. Of course, it uses content. But before we get into that, let's start with defining demand creation. So it is you as a marketer or a business owner or just a business proactively educating your target market or your potential buyers about an alternative solution to what they had originally in mind. It will become clear as we go through the slides. And damming demand is harnessing existing demand for one category that is not your category. So for instance, there are different ways to solve specific problems, right? Different ways to make money, different ways to get rid of a headache, different ways to get rid of stress, right? And you are, so let's take, for example, reducing stress. What most people are doing these days is meditation or yoga. And say somebody is promoting yoga as the solution to this problem. You come with your product or service, which can be something else. It can be aspirin, right? It's a different category. It's not meditation, it's medicine, right? And then what you go and do is you put aspirin in front of people who are looking for yoga and meditation to reduce stress and tell them, hey, this can be used too to reduce whatever you are trying to solve. Maybe aspirin is not the best example, sorry. But it can be something else, like some sort of medication. I hope this makes sense. I'm a bit tired after a long day, but I'll try to keep myself awake. Examples that you can use it. For instance, Indie is a tool I use to manage my invoices, but it does more than that. There's also an aspect of it that is related to project management. On a broader scale, even, it helps me because of all the features it contains. It can help me to manage my workflow, manage my finances. So everything I mentioned so far can be used as, all of these features can be used as a solution to people, to people's problems, whether they are finances or project management. So I can tell them, instead of going and buying all these different tools, one for project management, one for financial management, one to send out invoices and so on, come and work with Indie or use Indie. Asana is a project management tool, but it can be used for other purposes as well. I used it as a CRM, for instance, right? Not many people know that. Now, what I can do, or what Asana can do For instance, they can go on search engines like Google, and they target the people who are looking for CRM with ads advertising Asana as an alternative to the CRM. Hey, you can use Asana as a CRM. We'll show you how. This is another example I saw on LinkedIn. So what these guys are doing, they are going in front of people who are considering AI or chatbots as customer service agents on their websites and so on. And what they're saying, hey, you don't need AI. They're not good enough, or at least they're not good enough yet. Make your agents instead more efficient using our tool, which is called thru. I don't know if you can see it here. By the way, let me know if any questions. Stop me at any time if you have any questions, or if I say something, I mess up something, or I may say something unclear. So why it is important to put some numbers on this. So the saying goes that only 1% of your target audience in your category are actively looking to purchase from you or from similar products as yours, like within your category. So what about the 99%? This is why you need to create demand. So, and remember that you're not the only product on the market in your category, right? And you're all going with your competitors going after these 1%. When you employ damning demand techniques, what you're doing is that instead of staying in the same category, you're jumping into other categories where your product or solution can be used as well in these categories. So you're stacking 1% over 1% outside of the market you thought you were in. So this is just a means of creating more demand going after other categories. So how do you do it? The approach is, first you need to understand, right, the problem that people are trying to solve, the need. Then you write down, with that need in mind, you write down all the alternative products and services that they might be able to use to solve their problem or meet their need. Now, when it comes to the implementation or the execution, you need to know where to go, where people go to do their research, whether for any of the alternative products. You need to know where they go and do their research. Is it social media? Is it they go on communities? Do they use search engines? Once you know where they go, now you can devise a plan on how to put yourself in front of them, put a dam in front of them, and tell them, hey, we are here. Have you considered this product as a solution? So this is what is being discussed at the marketing circles, especially in B2B or software as a service areas. I would like to expand on that. It sounds a bit competitive. I always like to consider also, sometimes you can consider your competition as complementary to what you're already doing. Right? So instead of asking people to use this instead, you can try to join hands with your competition and make them your partner and offer both of your products as an even more comprehensive and holistic solution. And you will be creating demand for your product as well. And that's about it for this presentation. Let me know if any questions before we take an example and we run with it.
Did you define damming capture?
Yeah, you're trying to capture demand from elsewhere, not just from within your category. So the problem we're trying to solve with this is that, as I said, there's only 1% in most cases who are actively looking for your exact product. So to expand on your market and have more opportunities, you go on other categories where your product or your product category can solve as well, or it can complement at least. Another example is Peloton. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. During COVID, people were looking for home gym equipment, right? Because they couldn't go to the gyms. I think at the time they came up with some online programs kind of for people to do everything at home, and I think they would send them the equipment or something. So that's another way of them capturing the demand. Instead of people buying from Amazon or whatever, physical home equipment, they told them, hey, we have this other solution that you can also use for the same purpose, to stay fit, basically.
Well, can I say something, Ron?
Yeah.
Actually, if you're in business, you're always looking for people to solve their problem or to solve their services or whatever. So you want to tell actually for a different approach in this matter. Yeah, because instead of emailing or targeting everybody, you now look for a specific category on the search engines. Is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, search engine is just one way. It's the easiest way to do.
Mm-hmm.
But people also watch podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And they make decisions based on that. So you can appear on podcasts of people who discuss stress-related themes, let's say. And you present your product as, hey, everybody's talking about this and that you do need to do this or you need to do that. How about you do this? Have you heard of this before? So people might not be aware of your solutions, especially if it's a new technology or a new innovation. And you're trying to find ways to put yourself in front of them because they are looking for different solutions that already exist. Everybody is aware of most times. And you come and say, hey, here, this could be maybe better or even can be used in conjunction with what you're already using.
Yeah, but you can put that in the regular way, like we did many years in emails. You approach them, you buy the leads, and you can tell in the email, look, this is completely different. Look to my video or look to this link, blah, 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 blah.
Instead of sending letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes this is obvious, right? Like email, it's called email. It's like it's meant to be to mimic the mailing system, right? In this case, it can be sometimes difficult for you to advertise something that people have never heard of, right? Especially because how would they know about you if you're not ranking on Google or you're ranking just for specific keywords related to your brand or something else? They will not find out about you. Like Freedom Cells, if you go on search engines, I don't think Google will show them. Let's probably they are, but let's say they are banning them. How would people know? They would not. You need to find other ways to put yourself in front of these people.
Yeah, that's what I meant by email lists. You buy the leads, you buy the traffic, and then you send them the info.
Yeah, but this is not damning demand. This is just kind of a tactic to reach people that you couldn't reach before. So it's a bit different.
Okay.
This is just I have a question. If I don't want to interrupt though.
Go ahead.
I guess I'll just ask it. Yeah, just curious on this topic of purchasing email lists. Is that an ethical thing to do?
Sure.
I'll leave it to Anya. She does that.
Yeah, but many marketers are very successful in it, and it's done for years and years and years. But I'm interested in different methods, of course. Yeah, why not?
It depends on how they collected the emails. Probably these people who are in the mailing list are already aware, at least. They were prompted somewhere in small font size, right? Somewhere on the page. But, hey, by signing up to our newsletter, we will be selling your contact details to somebody else.
but
Mhm.
sometimes they're call centers and sometimes they have big advertising. So,
Yeah.
and then that makes the difference in price also if you buy it. But he was asking, is it legal? Is it something like
Ethical.
ethical? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it is because the people left their details. So that's why we can reach them. Yeah.
So in a way, this damming of demand is really diverting demand, right? Because you're trying to capture somebody else's audience, or not somebody else's, but like they're looking for something specific, and you're diverting their solutions, right? So you're saying, hey, you can achieve the same goal, or I can solve your problem by using this other solution, right?
Yeah, they might not be aware of it, so
Okay.
kind of educating them.
Okay.
So there's another step I didn't put in there, which is to draw the market map. So how things are distributed within a market, right? There might be suppliers, retailers, and so on. We did this with you, Daphne. So you wanted to sell to people, but then when we drew the map, we saw that we can maybe reach out to these other people. And then later on, you figured out that there are insurance companies, if I remember correctly, that you can be also your customers. This is different, but the highlight here is that when you have a structured approach to marketing and using frameworks, you will uncover a lot of opportunities that you could not consider without using these tools at your disposal. Yes, anybody can go and market, but you can improve your marketing by learning these frameworks. Like when I saw this damming demand, and I was like, yeah, because most people or marketers online, they don't talk about, now they are, in the recent years, there's more talk about this. Like, you need to know who you're targeting first. You need to know the need. What is the need that people you are solving? Is your product the only solution? Of course not. There might be different solutions. And so these other categories are also your competitors, not just those who sell the same thing that you sell. You see, so it broadens your view of things, and you start seeing things from the customer perspective, because they don't care well, except maybe the price sometimes or whatever, but they want to find a solution, and your responsibility is to understand what is their solution and if your product or service is a good fit. This is what we do also in sales calls, right? Establish fit. So who wants to try with their product or service to come up with building dams for demand?
Do you think, Rod, that any product or service is suitable for that?
I think so, but that's the challenge.
Yeah.
It depends if the use and the benefit will span multiple fields, right?
Yeah. So we start with, you will tell me the product. I will ask you what the need is that your product solves. It could be more than one, but this is where we start, right? And then we start thinking, okay, what other things people use to solve their problem, and where do they go?
So you want an example now? You want to hear something from us?
Yeah. Do you have a service that you are selling or product?
Okay. Well, I can start then. Maybe
Okay.
you know. I put the camera on. That's nicer for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's better. Well, what I do, I offer people health and wells. And that comes to a shop where they have a membership to buy the cheapest health products ever for very, very good quality. So they are saving a lot of money, They get better in health, or they keep their health, and they can make a business as well by introducing other people. That's the case. Yeah, so actually a product, the whole shop is a product, and actually the service too, to put it through other people.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a supermarket or any one-stop shop. where
Yeah,
you have, so you have the
Costco.
service. Yeah.
For Costco or Amazon, there they have a discount, and so it works here the same.
So you have the service, which is your shop or what you offer to them. And then you have below it different products which serve different, each of them serve different needs than each other.
In the shop,
We can start with your shop. So what is the solution? What is the problem that your shop solves for the customer? So what is their need? What are they looking for?
Well, if you are taking magnesium, for example, and you pay every month for a good quality $60, and here you can buy it for $9, about 80% discount, that's a huge difference. So the people are saving, and the quality is fantastic, maybe better.
Yeah. So if I think the easiest way is to translate it into a search term or a key phrase. So in this case, these are people who are looking for affordable, what do you say, supplements, let's say, right? Yeah. So they are typing affordable supplements. Maybe they are attaching other keywords to it, like good quality or high quality, organic or whatever. So all of these, I'm just using search engine because it's the easiest and most people go there, or that can be Amazon too, right? So this is, now we know what they are searching for. Maybe they are not searching for affordable, right? But let's say they are looking for good quality magnesium, whatever.
Yeah.
Now you can run ads, whether on Amazon or in the search engine, to put your products as good quality or high quality, but affordable. So now they are looking for good quality and they're assuming that good quality is expensive. And now the alternative is, hey, there are other options you were not aware of, other brands of magnesium or whatever that are affordable, maybe because they are. They found a new technique of producing them, or they are manufactured somewhere where the cost of labor is low, whatever the reason is. So that's one way of you damming demand.
So running ads, you say, so you buy ads.
Yeah, it's the easiest and fastest way. Because if you're going to go with organic in search, it might work as well. It can be that, sometimes you find in search engines lists on some blogs where they say the best products to do something X, right? You can go to that site and tell them, hey, I see that here you're listing just the common brands. How about you put alternative brands that are affordable and good quality also on your list, and you give them a link to your affiliate program.
Yeah, you can make thousands kind of ads in different words. Yeah, that's not the problem.
Yeah. Now with the mailing list, it's also, you can do that with mailing lists. People who talk about health, it's not necessarily damming demand, but let's say somebody who's, so magnesium, what does it help with exactly? Forgot.
So that's for?
Yeah, what do people normally use it for?
Oh yeah, for now many things actually, but it's good for your muscles to get more relaxed. So also good before sleeping, that kind of things.
Okay, so maybe a podcast talks about techniques to improve your sleeping patterns, etc., and you come and position yourself as also maybe an expert, and you position your product again. That could be an option, magnesium. Here we're not talking about affordable or anything necessarily, but it is a way for you to complement or supplement whatever you're doing already, techniques, your physical techniques that you are using to improve your sleep. Have you considered taking magnesium, for instance? Probably this is an obvious solution for many who are into that, but just to illustrate with an example here.
Okay.
Anybody else?
No products, no services. Well, I have another one then. Is that okay? Because then you can give your advice and they may have ideas. There's a card Actually, it's more American. It's international, it's in some details, but let's say it's American. And it's called Nexus Rewards or Nexus Snap. And with this card, everybody gets discount everywhere. So in restaurants, when they are tanking, insurance, flights, hotels, everything. And really, really huge discounts. And it works with apps. So that's very easy on the mobile phone. And sometimes they get the cash back, or sometimes they get a discount immediately. It's offline, it's online, so many possibilities. And it's also with a membership of $10 a month. So that's the business.
Nice. So anybody wants to work with Anya and try to find ways that she can damn demand?
Is that a credit card?
It's a card, not a credit card. It's a card, and you show that, and then they give you a discount when you are tanking or when you're in a restaurant. Yeah, and you only pay $10 a month, but what you are saving is huge. Can be thousands in a year.
So something
It's
like that would be
international.
huge, would be like it has huge potential for damming, but it's almost like too overwhelming. You may want to focus on like one aspect first at a time. So let's say you can focus on travel or restaurants, and then with that you can, right, Rawad? Because otherwise it's really hard to how do you target? You just
What is the
want to
need?
target, right?
What is the biggest benefit of that you
Saving.
get from using saving?
Saving, yeah.
But nobody's looking for savings. Like the damming that you're trying to do is identify the field, right? The area in which you can benefit from the savings. So you said restaurants. It could be if somebody's looking for spending a night out at the restaurants. How do you target those people that are searching for those specific?
True. If you know that category, you can approach from that way, and then you can send, by the way, you also can have a discount on your gas and on your flights.
Right,
so
right.
The point where you start depends the person or the category. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So you might want to focus on the categories one by one. If like you can say, oh, I'll focus on travel now and see how much I can capture there.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, but I would go also with a broad one, saving, because people do look, maybe it can be somebody who's looking to want to know more about, I don't know if they still do that. I don't know their right term, but with your some credit cards, they offer you mileage or whatever it's called. You collect points and miles, and then you get discount. If they are looking to inquire about these things, you can put this in front of them, because these are in the mindset of saving. It can be anything depending on what, of course, what categories this card covers.
Sure. So to the competition, actually.
Yeah. Search engines are always the easiest, lowest hanging fruit, but of course you have to pay for advertising, and there's a lot of competition to be at the top.
And what do you think about social media and put out there some advertising?
Yes, you can infiltrate groups that discuss like broad themes like that, how to save money, how to, I don't know what. Also savings, what is the purpose of saving is also to have more money. So maybe somebody who's looking to make more money, or maybe it can be a business owner who wants to be more profitable because he has a lot of expenses or costs. Maybe this card solves it in some way.
Yeah.
So it's not only the people who will actually use it. It can be not just people, individuals. It can be organizations. It could be a broader, segment of the market. Yeah, it depends. I need to know more about the card, but you can think of it that way. It's not always. This is where the market map comes into play. I've covered this in previous sessions. This is where that framework can help you uncover these junctions or opportunities in the market because everybody thinks of the end user who's going to be using it, but there are other players that you can also be your customers.
Yeah, that's what are people doing with the groups on Facebook or the groups on other social media, maybe mostly Facebook, I guess. But then there's a big competition of other people, and they say, "Oh, another one again, another one." You know, yeah,
Yeah. So you just need to know where people go and how they go about looking for
yeah,
solutions.
yeah. But in this way, they didn't know maybe that it exists, so they are not looking for it.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do with damning demand.
Yeah,
So you're trying to find out how they look for, how do they decide to buy that other product? Where do they go? And then you try to be wherever they go.
mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the physical world. Let's say a pharmacy and you sell medicinal herbs. An easy way, or it might be a bit naive, but you can put plaster posters in front or next around the area where people go before, or like that people take to go into the pharmacy, for instance. That could be one way.
Mm.
Has anybody heard of the fat pill? I don't know. I think it's called fat pill.
That's what?
Fat pill.
I don't hear it well. Maybe
Fat, F-A-T, pill.
no.
To lose weight?
Yeah, you just take that pill and somehow you feel
Oh, fat.
full for hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, good for slavery and lazy people.
So why are you asking?
I don't know, it just crossed my mind
Oh, hmm.
because I can imagine ways you can use that to capture demand as well. You can like, kill the gyms, basically.
Yeah.
Disrupt the entire gym industry. Just throw fat pills in front of the gym. Yeah, anybody
So-
else wants to volunteer? Or you're fine. We can take other questions unrelated to this presentation. I'd like to help, or if anybody else attending would like to chime in as well, offer a solution from their own experience, please go ahead. You're thinking of starting something and you don't know how to start, or you don't know how to market or whatever, you can try to solve it. We still got some time. We only, yeah, it's about 20 minutes.
Well, I have some questions, I guess. So you said like, oh, I'm just waiting for my video to come on. There we go. Yeah, you said like 1% of your audience wants your product or is in that category, and then 99% is in a different category. So like if you do the damning demand, how much percentage of that 99% would it like cross over to yours if you do it well?
No, I think you messed it up, my mistake. Just let me open the whiteboard and try to illustrate visually. Come on. So I will use very simple shapes. Okay. So these two represent each a different category. And then this is 100% of the market or the audience in your category. Only 1% of them, that's a bit more than 1%, but let's pretend that this is 1% of them is actively looking to buy from you. Some people might be considering, they might not need for it yet, and so on and so forth. Depends on what you're selling as well. Now there's another category that your product can also solve, but they are buying other products and services to solve. So now you're tapping into another, so you're another competitor, but from a different category. They didn't see you coming. They're all fighting, and you come as the savior, so to say. And then you present your product as, hey, this might be better, or you might want to use our product as well to solve your solution, your problem, even in a better way or in a faster way or whatever. So you're not going after, I'm not saying that 1% is after your category and 99% are after the other categories. No, it's just, think of yourself. You don't need now to buy, let's say, a shoe, a pair of shoes. You already have one, but you might be in the future. So maybe only 1% of the population now in Morelia, let's say, are looking for shoes. And all the shops are trying to go after these 1%. That's it.
So the damning demand in this case, for the shoe example, is more like, okay, I'm going to tap into the people that, like, how do you apply that example? Like,
start with a need. When you start with a need, it becomes a bit easier.
okay, so I'm gonna sell shoes to, like,
What kind of shoes? First of all, let's frame it.
well, I'm just thinking of the parallel category that you can tap into. Like, how do you identify it? So
You start with
like,
a need.
so
hiking shoes or something. Yeah.
like the summer is coming, therefore the sandals
Mm-hmm.
you to go to the beach or the
Okay, let's go with the sandals. Let's say the sandals is the other category, right? They're both
Okay.
shoes, but you have
Yeah.
come up maybe with a shoe that is so light, maybe Crocs. I don't think you can go to, well, actually people go to the beach wearing Crocs. So you can say, hey, why leave? So for instance, with the sandals, what could be, what can go wrong with sandals?
they can break.
They can break, you can stump your foot, whatever. With Crocs, there's more protection.
Waterproof.
And waterproof, for instance. So this is how you now also, we're doing more than just saying that this is better. We're saying, we're positioning it like claiming some benefits. Maybe those who are selling sandals, they're just saying, look at these nice sandals, and that's it. Because they think people buy it just because they are nice. Maybe they buy it because they are comfortable, maybe because they are made of leather. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So then you must be very specific and you put it in ads, otherwise they don't see you.
Yeah, the more specific, the better. You can go broad, I guess, but people usually look for very specific stuff. So you can go after people who want to buy now, but you can also go after the 99% who are not thinking of buying now, or they don't have the need to buy now. This is why you need to be creating content, which is getting more and more difficult because of social because of banning, shadow banning, because of they want to make money, they want you to advertise. So you need to be doing both. You need to do organic marketing, which is search engine optimization, content production, whether video or written form, plus having a budget to go with advertising, because search engine takes time, social media takes time. It depends on your needs, but ideally you would have a budget split between these two, because both of them require a budget, whether you want to hire other people or your time. You need to still split between organic and paid.
Yeah.
Because you need to stay in people's minds when they want, when they come to want, so when the time comes for them, when they are ready to buy, they have the need, they will think, okay, what should I get? And hopefully they will think of your brand or your product. If you disappear and you're just relying on organic, it gets a lot more harder.
Isn't it that wise then that you have an opt-in list so you can give them more information later?
Always.
On a constant basis. So that's, yeah.
Always.
So you have to make a combination, I think, because otherwise you lose them, because it's winter and they don't need the sandals now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the competition is fierce. Everybody wants to capture emails, and their magnets or their incentive for people to sign up is sometimes good, other times really bad. So you need to be very creative, and people forget about you immediately.
Yeah.
They fill a form, you have to call them within the same day or within hours, ideally. That's in sales.
Yeah.
Because they will forget that they filled the form. It happened to me many times. I received emails from newsletters that I signed up for like the day before. And what is this newsletter? Who's sending me? I always go with the spam first and then read the email to make sure that I made the right decision. But most of the time turns out that I signed up, but I don't recall doing that. So attention spans are very short. It's not easy to maintain. Once you grab the attentions, the most difficult is to maintain the attention.
Yeah. You also can offer them a discount if they order right away instead of waiting 2 months, things like that.
Discounts is always the easiest, and lowering the price. We were talking about this on Sunday, but it's not always the best way to go about it. There's a time and place for it, but once you master marketing, well, what does that mean? But once you know how to market and once you understand what you're selling and who you're selling it to and what they are expecting, then it becomes much easier. Of course, communication, also copywriting and other things will help a lot.
Yeah, and I noticed that it's quite different if you have contact with American people or people in Europe. Different kind of copywriting.
Yeah. So I want to work with organizations in the US. I would not pick up the call, even if I'm a good salesperson. I prefer to maybe hire somebody who's living there locally to call them up. Because they might, first of all, my name is Rawad. What is this name? They already have objections probably in their minds. Who's that? Where is he calling from? Pakistan?
Accents, yeah.
Yeah, so I prefer to then find other means to reach to these people to reduce the friction, let's say, and the objections in their minds.
Yeah, but also in content, what you're writing is completely different what you write to in America than someone in Europe.
Yeah, we see that, Anya, in the Pátzcuaro Freedom Cell.
Yeah.
When you write, they do not understand what you're trying to say. They think that you're being rude or something.
Yeah.
This is marketing too, because it's your person, your reputation at stake all the time. Okay.
I have another question, if you don't mind, Rawad. You mentioned earlier that the competition is at an all-time high with the advertisements in the search engine. Can you explain a little more on that, please?
So if you go on Google now, I think they show 5 ads at the top. I think they have to show 5. Yes, they make more money, but I think there are a lot of advertisers and they want to keep the advertisers happy too. So if there are only 3 spots like it used to be, the odds of your ad appearing on the first top within these 3 is much lower. So they open 5. Even with 5, we're talking about hundreds, maybe thousands, depending on the industry and sector. There's also, once you run the ads, it's not easy to be at the top because it depends on the auction, depends on the keywords that you are using, you're going after, basically. But at the end of the day, it's the money that is the biggest, plays the biggest role.
The budget, you mean?
Yeah. How much you're spending.
Yeah.
Because you have you have ads at the bottom too, and on the second page, if I'm not mistaken. Beyond that, I don't think there are ads. I'm not sure because I haven't been to the third page in ages. I don't use Google anyway. I use pre-search. But this is what's happening. It's not easy to be at the top of the ads listings.
If you're using pre-search, I never heard about it. So the majority will not search there. Is that true?
Yeah, but I go, so pre-search, it aggregates search results from different search engines. And then you have Google, you have the link to these search engines. And when you click on, let's say, Google, it will use the same keywords you used and do the search for you in Google, and then you will get the results.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got 5 minutes left, but I guess we're good.
Mhm.
We leave it till the next time, which is in 2 weeks' time. Next week, we have another interview at the Entrepreneurs. Hope some of you will be able to join, but it's going to be earlier in the morning.
It was more than 2 hours, Raw.
Yeah, the first one. Let's see how the second one will go. We want to keep it now because we're just starting. We want to test out things. Maybe in the future we'll make it a bit shorter, depending on the conversation too as well.
Okay.
Okay, so have a nice, I guess most of you will have an evening, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.